I'd like to welcome you all here tonight to celebrate with us the marriage of David and Alicia. Alicia's told me I've only got 30 minutes, so if I talk pretty quickly I might be able to get through it. So I hope you've got a lot of drinks to keep you going, because, you know, I've got a lot to tell you about David. And just for your information, no, I'm not the father of the groom. Okay, on a serious note, I'm extremely proud of all three of my children. 5.5 years ago, they lost the most important person in their life, their father. At that time, Sarah was just 21. She'd been engaged for 6 days. David was 19. Emma was 13. A really important time in their lives to have lost a really most influential person. And I think it's a real testament to him to see how they've turned out today. Sarah, a most gorgeous wife and mother, and God knows how she does it. She works full time, but she's still working towards a degree. David, a most handsome bridegroom, very distinguished looking. And Emma, a most gorgeous and beautiful university student who's doing really well. And I'm really, really proud of them all, and I know that he would be so proud to be here tonight, and so proud of all three of them. So, but tonight's all about David, so I'm going to waffle on about him, sorry. And lots of ways he reminds me of his dad. He's strong, he's dependable, he's loyal, he's loving, he's good looking, though not as good looking as his dad. He's stubborn, as his father was. And he's got his dad's love of music and of live music and of music writing, and so much so that he wrote a lovely song for and performed it at Sarah and Chris's wedding. He wrote a most wonderful song, which I still play in my car on my iPhone, through my iPhone, for his grandmother's funeral. And I'm guessing he's got a surprise up his sleeve tonight. And I know Barry would have been really, really proud of him to have live music here tonight, because Barry was a musician and he was very passionate about having live music played, and nothing against DJs, but live music was his life, and he would have been really, really proud of you to have a live band here tonight, and I think it's fantastic. Growing up with Dave was an adventure, absolutely. From falling off his bike and ended up in hospital with cellulitis in his arm for about a week, 2 weeks of antibiotics, throwing up all over the place, wonderful. Then he's great in sporting endeavours. He was very into cricket and very into soccer, but he loved his soccer and cricket, but he was never really a star. One thing Sarah and I both remember is watching him playing soccer, and if there was ever a muddy puddle on the field, you know, David would go and have a really good kick and end up, you know, backside up in the mud. As for cricket, well, he was a real good team man, but he was never a great scorer. I mean, I know I did the scoring. I remember I used to do the scoring. I remember one week I had to work, because I had to work some weekends, and I was at work on this Saturday. He rings me up and says, Mum, he says, I scored a 4 at cricket. I said, oh, it's fantastic, David. So how many runs did you make? He said, 4. That was David. He was so thrilled to have made a 4, so that was great. So, yes. But later on, music became his thing, and his guitars, and he's got lots of guitars, and he loves music writing, he loves music. And I know it would have been a lovely thing for his dad and him to make music together, because Barry would have been really, really proud of that, and he would have loved doing it with David, but was never to be. But I know how special that would have been. Barry said once to me that it'll take a really special person to take David off our hands and to marry him, but little did he know his mother said that to me just before we got married as well. And that's true. But I'm sure in Alicia, David has found that one really, really special person, and I'm very, very happy for him. In the 2 or so years they've been together, it's obvious to see how happy she makes him and how happy he makes her, and it makes me happy to stand here tonight to wish them well and to officially welcome you, Alicia, into our family, though I feel you've been part of our family for so long, putting up with David when he was in hospital with his leg, and all the things you've been through with David. And even so, I mean, you know, if anyone knows us, my children and I are all fully paid up members of the one mighty Perth Wildcats, and now Mrs. Alicia Spruce is now a fully paid member of the Wildcats as well. Yay! Woohoo! Next page. I'm on second page now. Oh, this is the important part. I do believe it's the duty of the father of the groom, and I'm standing in for the father of the groom, to offer some marriage advice. So, some marriage advice for you. First of all, Alicia, always be good to your mother-in-law. And as for you, David, always remember that Alicia's always right. Okay? And then you can't go wrong. But in all seriousness, all I can say to both of you is to love each other, be there for each other, support each other. There's nothing you can't face together, and believe me, your love will grow stronger for every challenge that you face through life. Something I know you've already begun to appreciate in the lead up to this very special day. Alicia, I can't guarantee life with Dave is going to be easy. It's never going to be a picnic, I can promise you that, but I can promise you one thing, it'll never be dull. I wish you both every happiness in your new life together, and I really do envy you the journey. Mine was cut short, far too short. I really wish I was in your shoes today. So everyone, can you please charge your glasses and join with me in a toast to the very happy couple, to the groom and his lovely bride, to David and Alicia.